Favorite streaming family, what is popping? What is going on?
All right, so
Man, I'm sounding like a host more every day that
every
I come
time you
here.
come,
I love it. You know?
So this
Favorite
is why
streaming.
this is your last visit. Okay, so third, you know how I feel about you.
Man, yeah,
You're my guy.
brother. You know, that's what it is, family.
However, you're sitting in the star seat today.
Yeah.
and you are not the star.
I got too comfortable. I
Yeah.
forgot I brought the queen with me.
Yes,
so
correct.
let's switch, ma.
Yeah, please.
Let's switch.
Yeah. All right. So as we do that, the lovely Carmen Sibily is joining us today, the first carnival queen in the history of U.S. Virgin Islands Carnival. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. How you feeling today? Oh, you can't hear? Oh, well, son.
Can you hear?
Yeah. Okay. Is that a good volume for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. First of all, I'm underdressed. We got royalty here. I gotta get dressed up. That's why Coco B is all spiffy over there today. I put on a coat for you, Ma. Ma, this is a special occasion for me.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. All right. So, I'm gonna see how far back we could go on down the annals of your mind. Take us to the part where it was the first carnival. Had you seen a carnival queen show before? Not here, but was there inspiration from somewhere else? How did we come about having our first queen show?
Well, the first Queen show was Randy Lugo, a radio announcer here in the Virgin Islands, decided that he wanted to have a carnival.
Now, Randy Lugo used to go by the Mighty Whitey back then, something like that, no?
No.
Mongoose?
Mango Jones.
Mango Jones.
Yeah,
All right,
Mango
there you go.
Jones.
Uh-huh.
History.
He did have a song called Mighty Whitey. But go ahead. Uh-huh. Mango Jones.
Right. And he decided that he would have a carnival here in the Virgin Islands that they had many years ago.
All right.
So he, being a radio announcer, every day he would announce something about the carnival. Let's have a carnival, and people got enthused in the island.
Uh-huh.
I would call in to give an idea, and every morning, and he'd show something new.
Okay.
Until it had gotten to be such an elaborate affair, so he decided to set a date in September to have a carnival. And other people, Mrs. Eldra Schulterbrand, Freddie Lockhart,
Okay.
and other people in the community, Mr. and Mrs. Brewer for Blue Red's Castle at the time. They decided, and now Mrs. Gertrude Dudley Melchior.
Okay.
They got together and had a meeting, decided they would have a carnival.
Okay.
So they decided on having a carnival, and that they would have different businesses in the community to sponsor a king and queen.
Okay.
And also sponsor a troupe who would like to have a troupe or
Okay.
who would like to have a sponsor of a king. So Mrs. Gertrude Melchior decided that they have the locker department store,
Okay.
that they would sponsor a king and queen and also have a troupe.
Okay.
So the
Lockhart and Associates.
Right, Locker Associates. So at the meeting, they had a meeting, and then they called me from the meeting and said that they had a meeting on what they decided, and would like to know if I would like to run as one of the queens to represent Locker.
Okay.
So I said, well, it sounds like a good idea, but I would have to ask my mom.
Right.
So she said, ask her, and we're having a meeting on Thursday evening. So my mom said it was all right. We went to the meeting.
Uh-huh.
And she asked me on the phone before the meeting, she said, do you have someone you would like to run with you as a king?
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh. Now the story getting good. Uh-huh.
So I said, no, I didn't have anyone in mind. She said, well, leave it to me. I'll find someone.
Oh,
You
matchmaking at its
just-
best.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
So she, when I went to the meeting the night, she called, she said, I found someone who just came back from Howard University, and that is Leo Sibily.
Okay.
From up at the north side.
Uh-huh.
And if you would come to the meeting on Thursday night, I'm asking him to come, and I'll introduce you to him then.
Okay.
and both of you can run as representative for the local department, and that is how it started.
All right. So now, okay, let me ask you this. So for the first one, you ran with a king together.
Yes, run as a king.
So as a
together.
team?
As a team.
How was Mr. Sibily as a teammate?
Oh, he was quite cooperative and willing, right back from college, willing to join in the fun for the island. And he was quite willing and he was so excited to join.
All right. Now, how many people did you run against?
There were 9 couples.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Yeah, that's a lot.
9. Okay, so who was your toughest competition?
The toughest competition was my the first runner-up, who was Florrie Roberts. They represented the Higgins Gate.
Okay.
There was this restaurant in town, a very famous restaurant, and they was my strongest competition.
Okay, but you still beat them off.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. Now let's take a look at this picture right here. Let me tell you. Oh man,
Can you see?
Ma,
Yes.
don't take this the wrong way. You were bad. Oh my goodness, you beautiful. Oh man.
I'll never forget. I was a kid once, and then they're like, that was grandma. I said, "This is grandma. She looks so beautiful."
Oh,
You're
grandma,
beautiful
you're
now
still
too.
beautiful.
You're still beautiful.
Yeah, don't get us wrong.
Still beautiful.
Well, yeah.
But man, back then, my grandfather too had the 6-pack going on
Yeah,
and everything.
oh, he's sharp too, bro.
Man, I'm telling you,
Can't-
back then it definitely gave Queen Elizabeth and all of them.
Yeah, the whole vibes.
ran for the money.
Yeah, the whole vibes. All right, so you won. Now, tell us about the coronation, like the celebration. Like, what did they do for you guys after you won?
After we won, there was quite a celebration. Of course, up in the ballpark with the crowning. First, we came in on a boat.
Come in on a boat.
On a boat, and at the head of the Coast Guard dock. The morning of the crowning, there were a big Navy ship came in to port, and they must have advised them. And when we look up on the boat, there were all the sailors there with attention.
Stop it.
Yeah. To greet the king and queen and her escorts going in, and then there were many of the boats all decorated with flags, accompanying the boat that carried the king and queen and her entourage. And when we landed at the head of the Coast Guard dock, as we got there, there was quite a crowd, and I always remember until my death.
Which ain't no time soon. Keep
no
talking.
time. No time.
When we got there, the community band started to roll the drums.
Oh, wait, I got drums.
Oh, that was a feeling. Oh, a feeling. And as I stepped off and you hear those drums, all you hear was the drums. And we walked, and there was, I was so emotional to hear the people hail, "We have a queen, we have a king and a queen, we have a," and with the drums we walked until halfway, and then the community band started up playing and playing, and accompany us to the Emancipation Garden. And that is where the crowning took place, at the Emancipation Garden.
So at this point, were you confused? Like, wait, did I really become the queen of the Virgin Islands?
Yes, and from that we drove in a convertible down at Frenchtown, where we met the beginning of the parade. And there was the cart, the donkey, in the cart, that waited there for us. And we got in, and there were all the troops, and oh, what a lovely.
How many troops in that first parade?
Oh, there must have been about 53, a lot of
Oh,
them.
wow.
Quite a lot.
Oh, we started with a bang.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
she
did.
did. Quite a number of troops. People were so enthused to have such a big celebration where the community can get together and really put down their head, rich, poor, black, white. Oh, it was a really lovely gathering.
Sounds beautiful.
So we started up there. From there, we went up between the cemetery and up the main street, and there were the crowds on both sides hailing, "Here comes the king and queen." Here
Oh,
comes-"
wow.
And then we got up. But one thing I'll never forget, when we got by the market, there was a downpour of rain. Oh, the rains came, and I remember the policeman said, "Anyone with an umbrella to cover the king and queen?" And there we had 2 umbrellas, one for
Wow.
the king, one for me. And it rained and it kept coming harder. So the policeman said, "When we get there by the library, I think we're going to stop and we're going to have the king and queen come out and hide under the library until the rain fell." And as we stopped, there was the gypsy troop. At that time, it was the Mexican. The first year was Mexican.
Okay.
And there the king of the Duke of Iron was in the troop.
Oh, wow.
And he came up. He said, why is the parade held up?" The policeman said, "It's raining so hard, we have to get the king and queen out of the rain." He said, no, don't let them come out. Rain, don't stop the carnival. Let's go through the rain, regardless of what." He said, "Rain doesn't stop a carnival." And he continued. He said, "No." So we took off. By that time, it rained, started easing a little, and we got the umbrellas off, and we went through the rain. And there the other troops started disassembling. But the troop with the Duke of Iron, which was the Mexicans, they came up and they were right behind the king and queen court. And he sang all the way up, "Rain, don't stop the carnival, rain." And he made up a song of it, which today we have all the lyrics of that "Rain, don't stop the carnival."
Yeah, so when we brought the Duke of Iron, he was singing a little something like this. Is what soca sounded like back then. Yeah, man!
Serious adventure with a musical teacher. Oh Lord, I had a serious adventure with a musical teacher. The first thing she taught me was proper fingering, with the rhythm and the technique, how to swing. But the highlights of everything was every night I had to jive on she mandolin.
Ah, there you go! I'm gonna do that, man. That's sweet, too, man.
Oh, it was so wonderful having the king of the Duke of Iron in the troop with his mandolin, you know.
Right. Yeah.
That was really a wonderful carnival, the first one.
All right, well, we are getting a history lesson here today. You are our history teacher, and we really appreciate this opportunity to have a conversation with you. To the right of you is your grandson, right?
That's
now,
The first boy.
okay, all right. And we decided, based on previous interviews, where grandson was like, grandma don't really like the name 3rd. Explain that for us, Mom.
Well, I remember one day sitting on the porch.
And allow me to be rude. You are sitting here on a 3rd's day. Okay, all right, go ahead.
We were sitting on the porch, and one of them said, "Leo, would you do something?" And my husband said, "Which Leo are you talking about?" He said, the 3rd. That is the first time I heard him refer to my grandson as the 3rd, because I had my husband was the first, and my son was the second, and his son is the 3rd. That was the first time I heard it.
Circa what year is this?
Oh, that was a long time when my husband was alive.
Probably like 2010, 2009.
Okay.
Around that era.
All right. So that's the first time you heard it.
I heard that.
Now, coming from your husband, I would imagine you were okay with it then.
At that time, because it hadn't been used since.
Right.
And apparently now when my grandson got into music, he remembered that, and he took that as his name.
Right.
But one day, when I went to a game down in Frenchtown, and he was playing in the softball game, the announcer was mentioning many people's names, who hit a home run, who hit a double and whatnot. And Leo the Third was up several times, and I didn't hear them mention his name. So I said, well, who are they talking about the third? then, then it came back to me. It was my grandson, because we hadn't used that name until my husband had used it many years ago. But he took it up, and that is what he's using as the third, as his
Stage name.
His title.
Okay, so now here's the thing, though. I had to put it in perspective for Th3rd on one of our interviews. I was like, yo, hey, bro, you got like a prominent last name. That Sibily name is big. You know what I mean? So I get your perspective, but I'm going to give you a little perspective on grandson. Grandson is a superstar in the making. Grandson is a mega talent. Grandson is receiving a check for $999.99, courtesy of Vivid Streaming, because he is our Road March winner.
Ma, so I win.
Congratulations.
So this is him telling me I'm breaking it down, saying I won. Thank you, Vivid Streaming. Thank you, finally. It's actually a really cool surprise. Just to show where the camera is.
Please cover the account number when you show that. Thank you. But yeah.
Just to show you it's real. Man, I appreciate that. Just want to shout out everybody that did vote for me and that had a help in hand with me getting this. Vivid Streaming has definitely been a platform for me to really grow and show their support. I want to tell everybody I thank you for your support with me. This is really big. I have a lot of traveling coming up, so this definitely was support. Yeah, for sure. Everything going towards the brand right now. We have and it says Vivid Road March, and I feel like that's a big road march.
Maybe you can frame that one.
I actually might.
I'll write you another one.
How about you write a smaller one so I can catch this one? Hey man, thank you so much, guys. Ma, this is big for me, you know.
Congratulations.
And this is really a big honor to get while you're here with me, so you can see. You know,
we decided, let's just go all the way. We could have announced this on Monday.
Yeah, for sure. And I have a new song, so I probably would have come back here within a week. Yeah, sometime. But it's cool to be here with my grandmother doing that.
Yeah. So, Oka, how does it feel to hear these stories? Because I'm looking at you, look at the monitor.
I haven't heard, to be honest.
Constantly smiling.
Yeah, I don't. There's a lot of things that were broken down before. These are more in detailed. This is the first time I'm hearing there is so much troops. First time I'm hearing Lockhart's and associates. A lot of those stories, maybe she did say them. Maybe I was a lot younger, but I just remember the stories of being a lot more, shorter, and not so much. I didn't know we had our carnival seemed more lit back then than it actually was today. Like the emancipation, being crowned in emancipation. I think all that stuff is cool because it seems like we don't really have a place for that right now. We're kind of using all type of different places, which is cool. We're getting it done, but to see him, it really started from a foundation, and it started like King and Queen was huge. Yo, we need to get the King and Queen out of the rain. That's some really big stuff, and I really hope we get back to those times where we could respect the title of that a lot more.
So as I hear your stories of your coronation, I could imagine the division of festivals hearing these stories. Also probably for the first time, and like, you know what, we should adapt that. We should go back to that.
I really just don't think people know. And these are really cool stories. Hopefully one of these days should be able to want to put it like on a podcast or like, say it out so people could hear these stories back 20, 30 years from now.
We're not taking this down. It's going to be there forever. So
yes,
they're
perfect.
going to hear this story.
It's there.
It's done. All right, now, Ma, do you have a favorite song from Grandson?
Night and Day. That's the one we danced to?
Oh yeah, Night and Day.
Yeah.
So Grandma, 91 years old, your memory seems very fresh. Let me ask you this question now. Do you remember any of the other winners? Clearly, King and Queen was you. You beat up on everybody, we understand that. But who was like they crowned like king of the band as far as troop goes? Yeah. Was there a winning troop? You remember that?
Was there like Prince and Princess too?
No, they've had so many, but right now is to call, and they've had Dr. Snyder was a princess. I was a prince at the time, with what's her name? Dr. Molidor.
Okay. See, I'm glad I asked that
Yeah,
question.
well,
Yeah,
Prince and Princess.
Yeah.
But, they were the first prince and princess of the first carnival didn't have a prince and princess, but they were prince and princess for the second carnival.
There you go. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So they added it for the second one.
Yes,
Yeah.
for
Okay.
the second one. Of course, as I said, the first one was a tryout. So they just had the king and queen, but of the second carnival, they decided to have a prince and princess so the
Okay.
children can have something to appreciate too.
Huh.
Yeah.
Amazing, man. Amazing, amazing. This is a very rich conversation right here.
And honestly, I thought it was really cool that just last year they crowned her a real crown. So I didn't understand that. You know, people were like, "Oh, this is grandma's real crowning, and you know she's getting the full crown." I was like, "What do you mean? This is over like 50 something years ago." You know, and then she.
This was a 70.
Oh well, this was over 70 years ago. What do you mean she's only now getting her crown? So she well, you want to tell that or explain that?
Yeah, because Ma, this crown in this picture well, explain that.
Oh, as being the first carnival was a tryout, my crown was made out of cardboard.
Oh wow! So that's a cardboard crown in this picture.
Cardboard crown.
Cardboard crown.
That's crazy.
You never would expect it.
In those days, they didn't call it cardboard. They call it cardboard, and the jewels on it were just paste on jewels.
Really?
Yeah, just paste on.
So when the rain come down your crown, my
Yeah,
shop.
I literally was just about to say that. That's the
Yeah,
reason why they had to come out.
The jewels, some of the jewels came off and went on my dress, and the cardboard started to open up because it was just glued at the time. But it stayed long enough to make a representation.
That's
Wow,
nice.
that's
sweet.
crazy.
And then, so to find out last year, was it last year, Ma, or the year before? Last year or the year before? I think it was last year that they gave her the real crown. You know, they had the whole ceremony down at Crown Bay. She came up. They put the crown on her. Very shiny crown. They look like they're very much updated from 1952.
Right,
yeah,
right.
for sure.
Certainly an upgrade from cardboard.
And in those days, they call it not cardboard, but call it carto.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
used to call it carto.
Carto.
They
So-
call carto boxes.
Uh-huh.
It was cut out. One of the pet milk boxes they cut out
Yeah.
and make the crown, my crown.
Okay, so who paid for your costume?
Well, my sponsor, the locker department store, they paid for my costume. Mrs. Melchior, she did most of the design on it with the red feathers, and it was mostly handmade. She had Mrs. Cricky at that time, a seamstress, to make part of it, but she finished it up with the tulle to the bottom and the red feathers. Mrs. Melchior finished it up with that.
Okay, so Lockhart paid for your costume.
Oh yes, they did.
You
Since
do-
they
are-
were my sponsors.
Are you aware that your grandson is now paying for costumes?
Stop, wait a minute. This only tell you about time when you ring my line from the start. I ain't with it. Cause at the end of the day, you still gon' break my heart when you finish. But can't play them games when your costume on the line. I know you're tryna be remedy fine. Won't happen this time, cause only on the weekends, baby. Only on the weekends you call me. Don't call me. Knowing I'm a little bit richer, baby. Know that I'll leave you want money. Don't worry why. I'ma go get it. I'ma go ahead and spend it. But first you gotta come spread it. Tell me is you ready? I could buy another one too if your girlfriend tryna get with it. I'ma go get it. I'ma go ahead and spend it. But first you gotta come spread it. Tell me is you ready? I could buy another one too if your girlfriend tryna get with it. She knows I'm about cash. Costume like Louis Bag. New bros and eyelash. You know I don't care, baby, no. Everything fine when they remedy time and they ready for the look I wine. Each and every night when you text my line, I already know what you want. Only on the weekends, baby. Only on the weekends you call me. Don't wish you gotta come spread it. Tell me is you ready? I could buy another one too if your girlfriend tryna get with it.
Oh boy. Oh man. All right. So it is. Oh wow. Ooh. Okay. So it is 9:38 in the morning. 22 minutes in front of an o'clock. I had to go get grandson some water because for a time we started to treat him. Yeah.
Today is my grandmother's day.
Okay.
So
As long as you're okay with it.
I'm A1 okay with it.
Help grandma over there for me. All right, so it is 9:38 in the morning. We have the first Carnival Queen joining us. And Coco B has got a question that I am sure everybody wants to ask.
So my grandfather is 91 too. So I always like to ask, what causes or allows you to remember your memory and just be more agile and moving around and no cane and all that things. Like, what was your secret?
Well, I find reminiscing on the past seem to help me to keep update and then update, but mostly things of the past. I like to reminisce on, and then to let my younger ones know what happened long ago, so that they could let us know what we went through from that time and what changes are made this time now.
Okay. No, that's a great question, and that's a great answer.
That's some of our favorite stuff, especially us grandkids, about our grandmother. The fact that she does remember, and she's able to tell all these stories of back in the day. Because there's a lot of things that people ask us that we're not too sure, and the blessing is being able to go back to her and be like, "Hey, grandma, so was this like this, or how was this?" And sometimes she bring out a book and start explaining and showing us pictures of how it was, and so it's always a history lesson, but it's a good one to know.
I know. Every now and again you hear something, you're inspired to write a song,
and it's like, what, really?
I saw you doing something with your nephew. Maybe we could get grandma on a song.
Man, honestly, that we've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it, trying to figure that out. But I kind of enjoy how excited they get. When they see everything happen. She came in here. This is a lovely studio. So I'm like, well, maybe I need to bring her down my mind. So hopefully soon we could bring her in. I want to get the whole family. Get the family involved. It'll be a fun activity. You know?
Oh no, grandson has a great studio too, so you should check it out. No,
she was born at what's a blessing is she was born and raised there. Literally, she was born literally the same building that I'm in now. She was born and raised until the day you were married, right, Ma? You were in there every day until the day you were married. Wow. Yeah,
that's a great story.
Born in that building.
How come you never told me that before?
The only one of my siblings that was born in that building.
Oh wow, that's great.
At that time, apparently you had to be at a hospital or whatever the occasion was. But I was born in that building, and then when my mother was about making up paper, she said, "I'm going to give you this building."
Oh wow. So here's my thought. I thought you actually got that building through the economic development program where.
That's been family building for years.
I didn't know that because they got the tax breaks on that area. So I thought that's why you did that. Okay.
So what's crazy is during the hurricane after Irma and Maria, that was the first place downtown to open up and give shelter to everybody. So it was able to kind of be passed on for different reasons, and we're kind of keeping it in the family and keeping it going.
Yeah. Okay. So we played Duke of Iron. All right. And music has evolved a great deal, and you found a sound in your grandson that you like because you love Night and Day. That's a song that won the $1,000, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you still go to the Queen shows?
I go to some of them, but I have to some of them, but I listen, those that I don't go to, I listen at home.
Okay.
Because I give the young ones more opportunity to have their attention, so.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
You see.
Anytime you walk in a room, I'm sure you get all the attention. All right. So, compared to the first one to the last carnival, do you have an opinion? Did you watch? What's the last parade that you looked at?
Well, the last parade I saw was beautiful, but of course, we didn't have those kind of nature exposure, like we did in the first one.
Ah, yeah.
The first one.
I was wondering how she's going to get to that.
Yeah, we had the bamboo dancers and those things like that. But it was beautiful the last carnival. I saw that. It was beautiful. So many troops was in attendance.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it very much. This year I didn't take part of it. I was just on the reviewing stand.
Okay.
And when my troop, the gypsy troop came up,
gypsies.
I went down and I danced with them and then came back on the reviewing stand. Because, I'm 91 and I don't walk as much as I do before. So, but I enjoy seeing the gypsies and the Elsker troops and all the other troops that came up. It was beautiful. We had a lovely, lovely parade this year.
All right. So do you know Doris Lindquist?
Oh, yes. Oh, she is what should I say? She's a precious jewel.
Oh, for sure.
A historian. And she was one of my sister's best friend when my sister was alive. And then she lived very near to us too, in Garden Street when the time I grew up.
Okay.
And she was one of my, as I say, my sister's best friend and kept it in the family.
Okay, so Doris Lindquist, Auntie Doris, is my great aunt.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So she is making 99, I think. But,
wow.
But has a memory like yours. It is crazy.
That's amazing.
Isn't it 100 she's making?
Maybe she's making 100.
Next year, I think.
Okay, yeah. So
I think you say she's making 99. I think next year she'll be
100. Right, okay.
in that time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's got 99 problems.
And
Birthdays
doing
ain't one.
Excellent. And
It's amazing.
I think so much of her.
Oh,
She's
okay.
one of the people that when I want to remember anything, I would call her.
Everybody does that.
I'd say, Doris, do you remember? She said, of course. And she would give you
The full history.
full house without even referring to any book or anything.
Yeah.
She hasn't. She is an exceptional person.
And people feel the same way about you. Yeah. All right, so it is 9:45 in the morning, 15 minutes in front of 10 o'clock. All right, now we talked a lot about carnival stuff, but the
Well, I
Sibily...
have one more
Okay.
carnival question. Miss Sibily, the way that they do the competition now with the different segments, like the costumes and the talent, did they have it like that?
No, with the first carnival, since it was a tryout, they didn't have time with competition and that. What they did is sold votes.
Oh, okay.
10 cents per vote, and the one that brought in the most money or sell the most votes was the one selected.
Okay. So that's a great question.
You can imagine that today, 10 cents.
Oh,
It would
right.
probably $20 today for one ticket. 10 cents back then, $20 today. They want it all.
So was there a stage show for the 9 contestants?
There was you sell votes,
Okay.
and then the night of the selection, there was a committee there that was counting who brought in the most money, and that is why.
That's how you won.
That's how we won.
Okay, so let's take a trip down make believe. If there was a talent competition, what would you have done?
Well, if there was a talent, at that time I didn't have a voice to sing. I guess I would have danced.
Okay. Oh, you would have danced.
I would have danced for
Okay.
my talent.
Well, listen, man, we've seen you could shake a leg.
Yeah.
We've seen it. So how many views did that video get, Third?
On all platforms combined, I got 175,000.
So you're famous all over again. That's
Yes.
the moral of the story.
And
Grandma.
that was actually a crazy time because I think that really did take the song. So that's actually amazing that Grandma's here while I received the check for the song, because I would say my grandmother took that song to another level. You know, being able to post with my grandmother and everybody to see who my grandmother was at that time. Definitely took it to a whole other elevation, and you know the moves were there, man. The moves were kicking.
So and I don't want anybody to feel like you know better. So I know you don't feel this way, but this is not me piggybacking off of that moment.
No.
Because I did something similar with Pressure Bus
No,
Pipe
for sure.
and his father Brownie.
Yes,
I put them in a
yes.
music video, and for me, like those were two legends where that connection wasn't really necessarily
Connecting
visual. You know, people who knew,
right?
But there wasn't like a visual presentation
Correct.
of them together like
Yes.
that. So
so it's something similar. So it's kind of similar.
So this is a similar energy for me. When you think of Brownie, what do you think of?
Oh, Brownie. Oh, he was such a comedian and such a wonderful person.
Yeah, man.
He was also a family of mine.
Okay.
Yes. But Brownie, he fit into so many areas. Like he was announcers in all the different shows.
Right.
And even at the schools, they would call him to announce. And then the way he would have his voice, you know, change.
Yeah.
Brownie was a wonderful.
The way he did Walter.
Right. And that was so nice for people to hear how he can change his voice, you know, to Walter.
Yeah.
Brownie is really missed. To this day, we all miss Brownie.
Listen, I feel the same way. I feel like Brownie was one of those gems of the Virgin Islands that
He was.
we will never
Forget.
you can't replace either.
No.
You know what I mean? This is one
I'm
of those.
glad he gave us his son though.
Oh boy, did he?
Boy, I'm very glad he left a landmark here. He left something for us to definitely remember him by, and his son is definitely making him proud. You know,
for sure.
You know, everything that Pressure does and is definitely for him, and I'm very blessed to the last couple of years be very kind of close. And yeah, definitely will be missed.
All right. So I remember like the first time that I was, because my grandmother Beryl, Beryl Lindquist, would listen in St. Croix. And the first time that I learned that Walter and Brownie was the same person, it blew my mind.
Right.
It blew my mind,
He
man.
did it so well. He did it so well.
And that we should have had. Wish we had those things. Like kind of. Do you have it?
I do have a record that I am looking for that is evading me for some reason.
Man, because we spoke about that last night, having like a catalog of older music for us that we could be able to go back to that actually is quality.
Yeah.
I don't. There's not much people that have that.
All right. So apparently that is in a. That didn't make my recovery disc.
No, man, it's somewhere.
Man.
We're gonna be positive and say it's somewhere like in some other book.
I really wanted to play that.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So I can't play what I wanted to play for you because you were in a chair and I was gonna play Slide Wine and you could have moved your chair on the wheels. But I'm gonna play Night and Day, and that's how we're gonna end our conversation today because
Lovely.
it just won our Vivid Road March. Our previous winner would have been Star Martin.
Oh,
who
man.
won $1,000 before.
Oh man,
And,
congrats. I took it now, Star.
So what's next for you, sir?
Next is we're traveling to Toronto. We're going to Carabana, and then we're going down to Anguilla Carnival. So basically, a lot of traveling for us. I got a new single coming out called Access Granted. I just teased that out. Seems like it's going in a similar directory like Night and Day. Hoping and praying with y'all's support. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been a great interview this morning.
Oh, man, it really was.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to dance on out of here, Grandma. I truly appreciate you coming. We talked a lot about carnival stuff. I'd be remiss if I didn't give you the opportunity to talk about your other children. Monique is like, when I worked at the Department of Tourism, she took me under her wing, and I love her forever.
Wonderful.
Of course, the second is operating one of the most legendary bars and restaurants and keeping the Sibily name going. How do you feel about the legacy of the Sibily name and your other offspring, not just 3rd?
Well, I think it's so wonderful. I have to thank God every day that we have such a closely knit family. We all get along so well. And to see that we have what Papi Sibily would have liked was to keep Sibs Mountain Bar in the family. And that is what we have now, operated by my son and his wife Jennifer, that they are running Sibs. And everyone is talking about what a wonderful place it is, friendly atmosphere, and the food is good.
Indeed.
And don't forget,
I ate from there last night.
And this weekend we do have our 100th year anniversary. We were founded in 1924. Sibs was 1924, and this makes 100 years this weekend.
That's
so
crazy.
So we have festivities going on. So if you're around or want to get into some stuff, Friday, I think 5 o'clock until, and then Saturday from 12, we have like kids bouncy houses and stuff and food and stuff in the ballpark until from 12 to 6, and then we're back on the block party from 7 until. And I will be performing Saturday, so if you want to come see me perform and have a party with the Queen, you know where to find us.
Oh, that's great, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Job well done, Ma.
Thank you.
Everybody's amazing in that family. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us,
All right.
having me today.
You live around the corner. He comes whenever he wants. You could come with him. Huh?
Thank you,
All right.
thank you.
Ma.
Joke on the bodies. The Roma. God, we may live now we got fixed back. Might be a little drunk, but me drink can't drop. Feel like I drink my life away. Can never